Today I wanted to share a video on how to create a market research AI agent based on Reddit tools. So the inspiration for this video came from my personal workflow where I ended up finding myself going through many subreddits to find the frustrations and pain points that people face, and then I use that as a source to build kind of my own AI workflow or SaaS tools. So one of the things you will find is that when you're doing market research for building any kind of SaaS or software solutions, you wanted to know what are the people, the pain points or the frustrations that people are seeing. And then you will come across tools like the Gummy Search, where you can use this kind of analytics tool to find what people are looking for and what kind of the solutions they wanted to see. But these kind of solutions are kind of a little expensive. If you look at it, it costs about $29 a month. So with my video, what you can do is that you can create your own AI agent, which will do that for you. It's a very simpleton version of this Gummy Search, so you can actually kind of enhance it later on if you wanted to. So for this workflow, you have four main stages. One first is the trigger stage, and the second stage is the market research agent stage, where it's the AI agent that runs and then connects to the tools to get the data and then format it. And then you have the next stage, which is the formatting data, which will format the output data from the AI agent. And then the last stage is the save results stage, which will save the data into a Google Sheets. And to show you what the output can look like, I have a Google Sheets here where I have the list of pain points that people face. So for example, this is a client acquisition pain point, and various industry is facing that, and the description is that the small business owners are struggling to find new clients and sustain the growth. And the solutions, the AI generated solution is that implement referral system so that existing customer can refer to new clients. And then also using social media to target the clients. And then the category, this is for sales. And then I have the source of subreddit where the original source of where this pain point came from. So you can see here, this small business owner is having a hard time finding referrals and new customers. So for this agent, I'll go through each of the steps one by one. So the first step is the trigger step, which is a manual trigger, just something that you can find it right away if you just type for manual trigger. And for the second stage, you have the market research agent where you have the AI agent. And then for this one, I'm using my own custom prompts, and I have used the prompt generator from the ChatGPT, so you can use that as well. And here I have a system message where it says that you have a business analyst. Your job is to analyze Reddit's posts for small business subreddits and extract actionable pain points and solutions for business ideas. Always output your finding in specified JSON format. And this is my system message. And then for the user message, this is also generated from ChatGPT. And for the user message, I have searched the latest post for following subreddits: small business entrepreneur, startup, and small business UK. Identify 5 unique frustrations and pain points that each business owners are discussing in the last 24 hours. And for each of the columns, I have pain point, description, solution, industry, pain point category, solution thread, and then the JSON format that I wanted. So this is the user message. And for these prompts, I will share the file afterwards in the description below, so you can see and just copy the file directly and you don't have to type it or write it yourself. And for the chat model, I'm using just a GPT chat model. I'm using the cheapest model right now for OpenAI, and then I'm using the 4.0 mini. For the memory, I'm just using the timestamp to define the memory of the chat. This is just a simple memory, built-in memory. For the tools, I'm using a Reddit tool. This is probably the main config that you have to do. These are all the default setup, most of them, but for this specific configurations, I'm using operations for search, and then doing location is subreddits, and then I'm letting the model to define which subreddit to use to search, and then also the keywords that subreddit has to go and search. and then I'm setting the limit to 10. So I see that sometimes this workflow takes a lot. Sometimes it searches a lot of posts, so I didn't want the agent to do too much search. So I'm limiting it to 10. And then for the additional field, I'm sorting it by relevance. And then for the output, this was pretty helpful where I have defined the JSON output that I wanted, and this is the output that I have examples output that I'm calling out so that the chat model will use this as a reference to generate the output. And this was pretty useful because I have previously set up AI agents and then the output sometimes changes, so having this step here helps to define the clear structure of the output. And then for the next step after this output, what you will see is that when I ran it before, it ran through and then it gave me, if you look at the table format, you will see that I have output of the pain points, the description here, finding new clients, solutions, industry is diverse, pain point category is client acquisition, and then the solution source thread is this subreddit thread that it came from. And then after that, I have the formatting where I'm splitting this particular output from the AI agent into multiple outputs. And then I haven't done any changes here, so all these configs are there by default. And then I have a dedup step, which means that I wanted this AI agent to not regenerate the pain points again and again. So sometimes when the AI agent runs, it generates the same output. So this step will remove any of the duplicates that it sees. And then you will see that I have set this dedup on the thread so that it doesn't output the pain points from the previous step, which is using the same subreddits, are not saved in the same Google Sheet so that you don't have a duplication. And then I've set the history size of 100 so that it will look for last 100 data and see if there's any kind of duplication. And the last step is I have set it to the source to Google Sheets, where a lot of these steps are the same, but I have used a document called leadtb, and then I have defined my sheet that I wanted to use, which is a pain point. And then I have mapped each column manually and then match on the pain point so that I'm not generating same pain points again. And then I have the rest of them, I just set it to the matching column. So you have, for pain point, I have the pain point JSON industry, JSON description, JSON pain point, and source thread. So that's how I set it up. Seeing this update that is needed, so I'll just do that. These are not needed, so I'll just take it out. So I'll just save this and then I'll run it. So it's running, it's going to the subreddits and then trying to find all the posts, and then it gets it, and then ChatGPT is summarizing it and also generating recommended solutions, and it will generate about 5 results based on the prompts that I have specified, and you can always change it to however number of subreddits or the pain points that you wanted. So it ran and then it found four problems, which is finding new clients, converting prospects, overcharging services, client communication, and rising business rates. So those are the problems, and then you see here that it ran through the subreddits, and then it will separate out the previous output into it has 5 pain points that he have found, and then it went to the dedup process. And actually, if you notice that the original pain points I had 5, but it found duplication of 2. So these are the 2 that was duplicate that was already that are found in the previous results. So it's only gonna save the new results, which is overcharging services, client communication, and business rates. And then 3 results got saved in the Google Sheets. So if I look back in my Google Sheets, you will see that beyond 5 previous results, I have 3 new pain points that's been defined and searched, and then the descriptions are here. So I think that's it. So then I will share this workflow, and then I'll also share any other files that is needed. And let me know if you have any comments or suggestions, and please subscribe, and then thanks a lot.